This is 2 Minutes Together, a ministry of Central Lutheran Church, Eugene, Oregon. I'm Pastor Ben. This week, we have in our gospel lesson, when Jesus asks his disciples, "Who do you say that I am?" Peter gets the answer right, says, "You're the Messiah." But then Jesus explains that he is going to suffer and die. And for that, Peter and the rest of the disciples cannot accept it. And then Jesus, after chastising them, has a lesson. He says to them, "Those who want to be my disciples must deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me." Now, there's all kinds of things happening in this passage. It's kind of the climax of the Gospel of Mark. It comes earlier than you'd expect. It is the first time that we hear that Jesus is going to suffer and die. But I'd like to focus on just that one thing: to take up their cross and follow me. Notice when Jesus calls to his disciples that they need to take up their cross, he doesn't say they need to take up my cross. That is, Jesus's cross is the result of it, is the death of this world as it is and the new creation coming again in the resurrection. That's not specifically what he calls these disciples to be doing. He says, take up your cross and follow me. And regardless of what that might have meant to these people who hadn't seen Jesus die on the cross yet, what does that mean for us? Well, the one thing that I think we could hopefully clearly say is we don't know what our cross is until we experience it. Some people's cross is very different than others. For Peter and the disciples in that moment, it was to accept that Jesus, who they declared as Messiah, was going to suffer and die. That was really hard for them. It's why Paul calls the cross a scandal. It's something that does not make sense, and they couldn't put it together. Well, for them, that was part of their cross they had to bear. They had to be able to completely abandon the way they thought things were going to be in order to learn the way Jesus has instituted new life in this world. Not according to our will, but according to his. And so when we think of this, the result of Jesus' cross was salvation of the world. But what did Jesus say about the result of our cross? Those who want to be my disciples deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. The taking up the cross, the result of that is to be a follower, is to be a disciple. That doesn't mean we know everything that's going to happen. That doesn't even mean we know what the cross is that we are bearing right now. But what it does mean is that we believe that Jesus is walking with us, that our struggle is framed by the larger cosmic struggle of the victory having been won on the cross from Jesus Christ. This has been 2 Minutes Together. I'm Pastor Ben.